All right, we're on video number 4 of 4. So this video is pretty awesome because we talk about private money. Where do we get the money to fund these deals? How does this work? I remember when I first got started, and I think the biggest obstacle outside of knowing how to do the deals, once I had learned a little bit of how to do it and what it takes to make a deal happen, I found myself where I kept on asking, all right, they showed me how to do deals with no money. Okay, I know I could do it with no money, but I just had this ongoing question in my head, but I know that I need money. I know that money needs, there has to be money. Somebody's got to give money. Somebody's got to give money. How do I get money? How do I get private money? And it kind of hindered me a little bit in the beginning because I just had that ongoing question of where to find it. And I didn't have the answer solved. No one really told me. You know, there was hard money and different things, but I was new. I didn't have much credit. I had no money. At that time, I was a thousandaire. That means I had less than $1,000 or just about $1,000 of income in my life. So that I was a thousandaire. And maybe some people could relate to that. Some of you are probably watching this and you're like millionaires, but I wasn't. I was like a hundredaire or maybe a thousandaire. And so I needed to figure out where to get the money. So show me the money. So right now I want to talk about show me the money. So I'm going to talk about like 3 or 4 different ways on where I found private money and how I found money to fund the deals. I think the first concept was understanding OPM. And I use that from the day I heard it all the way to today. We still fund deals on OPM using other people's money. Other people's money. Some of it was hard money, some of it was private money, and hard money is just lenders that lend specifically in the real estate business to buy a property, fix it, and sell it. They call it hard money because the prices and the interests are a lot higher than most. But I want to come and jump into it and talk about private money because that's where a bulk of the money that we have used over the last 20 years of investing has come from. So here are a few different ways on how to come and get private money. So number 1, this was so easy. So what I did is I went on public records and I did a search in the county closest to me, and I did a search. And you can't do this in every county, but most of them you can. They have an online platform. If they don't have an online, then you're gonna have to go to their office. And I said, hey, can I get a list of people that have purchased more than 2 properties in the area that I'm looking, in the county, and paid all cash? And the teller behind the system, they said, yep, and that paid all cash in the last year. Then I said, how far can you go back? She says, I could go back like 5 years. I said, can we go back 2 years? Because my thought process, if you bought more than 1 house cash, you might be living in it. If you bought 2 houses cash, you were instantly bracketed into an investor. And if you bought 3 or 4 or 5 houses cash, that meant you were a cash investor going with your own money probably to go buy these properties. And I wanted to come and talk to you to see if maybe you would fund maybe one of my deals. So in recapping that piece, some places you could go online and do it yourself. Other places you need to go to your county and get the information from there. And then there are also online services that you pay, and then you can get that information. And they'll give you their name, their address. Sometimes you could get their phone number. If you don't get their phone number there, you can trace it and find their phone number. Why? So that I can call them or send maybe a postcard or a letter saying, hey, my name is Jason. I buy houses in the area, and I just would like to talk to you about maybe a house that might fit something that you're looking for. And just start the conversation. And that worked out well, and we've gotten private money from that. So another area is the title companies that when you do closings, they have access to systems that allow them to see who has purchased properties cash in that area. And you can get that information from them, and or a third-party service would also do the same exact thing. I also went, in the beginning, I went down to the courthouse because certain courthouses make it mandatory that, like I know in a lot of states and in different counties do different things, but some counties and some states, when you buy a property at the courthouse, sheriff's sale, boom, house is sold for $213 to the gentleman in the blue shirt. You have to come with either 10%, 50%, or 100% of that money that you won, that you bid for that day. I was like, wait, so if somebody bid $200,000 on that house, they need to come with a cashier's check for $200,000 that day? They were like, yes. And I was like, got it. Those are private lenders. Somebody's got to come even with 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% that day. That is a potential private lender. So I just went to the auctions and I started talking to them. You got sheriff auctions, you got county auctions. There's a bunch of different auctions that you could actually go to. So I went there and started speaking to them, and sure enough, they started lending me private money. Hello. Strategy number 2. Here's another one. So I went and I found, went online. I was looking for, so here's a great one. So you could go online, and where people create their corporation in whatever state, it is all on public records. And what I started doing is I went online and I started searching company names, corporation names, and I started looking for corporation names that were private lender. And the reason why I started doing that, and when I did that, boom, a bunch of names came up. John Smith, private lending. Bob Smith, private lending. Alpha Funding, private lending. Samsung, private lending. Puerto Rico, private lending. Jason Rodriguez, private lending. So all of those kind of popped up, and you see active and inactive. And I started reaching out to all of them, because to create a corporation, you got to give an address, you got to give a phone number, and a lot of times you got to give an email address. So did the same exact strategy, picked up the phone, started calling them, started sending postcards to them, and sure enough, we started getting private lenders from them, little by little, and just started networking with people. And the last thing I would say is I just started talking to people in my database. I built a small database, and then it built bigger and bigger and bigger. And now we have thousands of people on our local database. And I just send out emails to them. Hey, what's going on? It's Jason. Haven't spoken to you in 2 or 3 days, but I got a deal that's came across my table. I'm looking for somebody that might be interested in lending on this deal. It's a great deal. Hit me up. Great rate of returns. And sure enough, people will start responding. And I'll maybe send another email. Hey, have you thought about lending your money? You've been trying to do real estate investing, takes too much time, too long, but you really want to get a great rate of return on money that you have? Let's talk. And they started responding back. So those are strategies on how I have built my business. But I want to come in and kind of go full circle here. So one of the things that I started seeing, and I want you to see for yourself, is that there's a lot of steps in this investing. And for some people, it could be overwhelming. For some of you, I got it. For some of you, you are ready to do a nosedive because you know that this is your path to success. This is going to give you the financial freedom that you want so that you can help yourself. You can help your family. You can go on those dream trips. You can go on those vacations. You can send your kids to college without having to work a bloody 10,000 hours and give it to the college, where you can use real estate to help you for that. And you know that you want to do this, but you've been trying, and here you are watching another video and you understand it. But maybe for you, it's just the fear of doing something that might be paralyzing you, and you might want someone that can actually help you through the process. If that's you, or maybe you just want a clear path and you could do it on your own, but you want to talk to someone that can help you create a clear path to success, and that's what you really need, so that you can, make that happen. We offer a free strategy session, and it's a no commitment. There's no obligation inside the strategy session. It's all about you and helping you to get to your next step. So if you're interested in a free strategy session, somewhere on this page, you'll see there'll be a link to an application for a strategy session. And I'll tell you right up front, not everyone gets approved for the strategy session because it does take our own time and what we're up to. And we want to be able to come and provide, but we want to make sure that it's a right fit. So if you're interested inside there, feel free, fill out the form for the strategy session, and let's stay in touch. And if you have any other comments about the videos, anything like that, please let us know. We read all of our emails, so check them out. My name is Jason Rodriguez. I am so happy to come and talk to you. Thank you for watching our videos, and hopefully you go out there and make it happen for yourself, for your life. If there's anything we could do, let us know. Fill out the strategy session. I'll talk to you soon. Jason Rodriguez. Boom.